is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. So today we're going to talk about the new CRL, the new competitive format with $1.6 million behind it, where everybody is a pro player in 2021. I'm going to give my blunt and honest opinion on the new format, talk about the pros and the cons a little bit. Then we're going to wade into more pros leaving the game and kind of look at the exchange between the community manager and those pro players, all in today's video. First off, I want to start things on a different note. First of all, thank you guys. We're approaching the holidays. Another year here, a difficult year for many of us, most of us in the world. So I just want to thank you guys for being a part of the channel and kind of sticking with me going into my 7th year of YouTube. Wow, that's a long time, almost a decade of uploading YouTube videos on Clash of Clans and Clash Royale and Raid on my other channel. But guys, yesterday I put up a YouTube short. Let me know what you think of that. It's my very first kind of stab at new content here on the channel. It's just basically taking an amazing moment, in that case, Surgical Goblin versus Morton, and kind of putting it into a very well edited clip and, letting you guys relive that moment. I was thinking about doing those every Sunday on a variety of different topics. The next one I have planned is a look at all 5 Clash Royale, all 5 Supercell games in beta, and a quick 1-minute clip. Anyway, guys, let me know if you love that, if you hate that. Open to any and all feedback as normal here on the channel. So let's talk about this here, guys. So on Twitter, this is going to be a shorter video after I've rambled for 90 seconds to start things off. A shorter video talking about really, the state of the competitive Clash Royale, right? So they announced yesterday, you guys can kind of see this. I'm not even going to play it, but bigger, better CRL format, bowler. Okay, just a joke. Complete in an all-new global format. So it's open to everybody in the world. As I said, everybody's a pro. Qualify in-game by topping the leaderboard on ladder. We think the top 1,000. There's going to be 8 months of $600,000 prize pool, and that's $75,000 a month for you guys. So $75,000 a month for 8 months, and then a $1 million grand final. So again, let's kind of take a step back here and talk about that really quickly. There's going to be a grand final of $1 million. There's going to be 8 months tournament. The rumor is the top 1,000 ladder players every season for 8 months will move on to kind of a round-robin tournament leading into a double elimination bracket at tournament level standard, and then the winner of that will walk away with a boatload of cash. And then if you win that, not only do you qualify for the World Finals, but also you're going to go ahead and be able to compete in that again and again and again to potentially win up to $350,000 before the World Finals. This will be the most money ever injected into a Clash Royale tournament in the history of Clash Royale. So let's go ahead and look at some more information around this. Alright guys, so looking at Seth's Twitter, we can see 600K divided by 8 qualifiers, over $75,000 available every month as an open tournament, a huge jump in the prizes available in an open tournament, available globally within the app. They also don't mention any age restrictions. Don't know if that's going to be in place. They also don't mention 2v2 anywhere, so are they going to make a 2v2 ladder, or is 2v2 going to be excluded from competitive Clash Royale in 2021? That question remains unanswered at this time. I really hope that 2v2 is a part of it. It grew on me over the last, 2 years, 2+ years now. I kind of like 2v2 competitive now, and I know a lot of you guys would love to see a 2v2 ladder. So anyway, moving on here, the 2021 World Championship will receive the single biggest prize pool ever paid, even larger than Sergio Ramos's 2017 win, which was $150,000. Sergio Ramos, the Mexican pro player currently on SK Gaming, that is the biggest prize pool ever won in Clash Royale. That was a lot of fun in London. Which brings up another thought. Will be great for pros who make This will be great for pros who make content. The ladder race at the end of the season will become officially sanctioned competition, and your final placement will matter. And Drew mentioned earlier in another tweet that I won't kind of go ahead and pull up for you guys, but they will be doing checks on every top 1,000 ladder account every single season to make sure there's no account sharing, no trophy pushing, none of that stuff. I genuinely believe that this skill and intensity needed to win these events will be absolutely world-class. The game has come so far since 2017. I expect the top players from a monthly qualifier to be very familiar faces. One big clarification, winning a monthly tournament does not stop you from competing the rest of the year. Winning one monthly tournament should make your year worthwhile. But if you are a beast and win every CRL event you compete in, you can take home over $350,000. One team I could genuinely continue to see dominating is Team Queso. They have a great organization built around developing talent. Organizations will still be present, just like any other SC game or esport. I understand the disappointment from existing orgs and players. Change is always tough, but I don't think we've ever seen the last of those who retired, quote unquote. And they love to compete and might find themselves deep in the competition by sheer force of talent. More details will come later this week, but we have made a lot of changes with Clash Royale 2021 esports in mind, and many were received skeptically. Tiebreakers, 3 times elixir in overtime. Wait for info and let's see how next year plays out. Another thing I will mention, but don't know technically confirmed, is duels. They added duels to the game in Clan Wars 2, and I do anticipate, because I know that Seth, obviously he's involved in this, along with Drew, and I know that both of these guys love duels. So I bet you anything duels is going to be a part of this as well. One thing I'm certain about the Clash Royale, the players who will make it to Worlds will be the most consistent players in Clash Royale. No one will get there by random stroke of luck. So he says, basically, the number one issue so far as he's putting all these tweets out from the community has been, yeah, but it's ladder. It's predicated on ladder. Which again, we're going to mention the pros and the cons in just a moment, but we'll get back to that, okay? The top players will go through a weekly qualifier where they will play over a dozen matches. This is at the end of every month. A weekend, qualifier. They'll play over a dozen matches against other pros to advance. Swiss tournament, double elimination bracket, consistent pros will definitely have an advantage. And he goes on to say here, responding to this tweet, he says, love it, more exciting. I hope going forward Clash Royale will come out of this sort of official ranking system based on their previous leaderboard ranking and, as well as tournaments participated just like golf and tennis. And he says, you're nailing it. We modeled 2021 CRL on the competitive formats of individual sports like golf and tennis. Earn points and prizes. Top points earners are tracked for worlds invites. So we can already see how this is going to play out. You get a certain amount of points, and then you make it to Worlds based on your ladder finishes and how you do in those brackets and tournaments. And basically, more points for top 10 finishes, compete every season instead of winning, qualified for Worlds, can't play more, deeper payouts, top 32 get paid out every month, and reward consistently, no single elimination in qualifiers. Mobile Matt says, pros. Prize pool will be worth, did he say cons anywhere? Cons. Okay, I like this post. Mobile Matt, shout out to Mobile Matt, by the way. He's actually the director of business development at our company, AMG. My thoughts on CRL changes. Cons, no consistent income for players. Instability will reduce org investments. Open format dilutes competitive storylines. Public ladder, more risk of sharing account win trading. Unclear TOS policy. And solution for RPS matchup still needed. Rock, paper, scissors. Pros. Prize pool will make it worthwhile for those who cash in. Alignment with public game modes is generally good. Brings hype at the end of the season finish. Still viable part-time for fun or full-time if you have content for low living expenses. And will be easier to operate. Okay, so I agree with what Matt says, but let me put a finer point on it here before we move into the other stuff. Pros. I think this is a badass tournament format, guys. I really do. I think that this is better than CRL from a viewer's point of view. I can see why pros and orgs are disenfranchised right now. They don't get that solid, stable income, which was huge for them. These were professional players by every sense of the word, meaning they did it as a full-time career, meaning they put 8+ hours in every day. This was their job for 2 years, and now that job is being removed and is being replaced by something that is uncertain. So far be it from me to sit here and get mad at any pro for being disappointed, because I totally get it. With that said, I think this is a better format. I think that if we never had CRL as we had it before, and we just had this, I think that we would be kind of upset if we moved to a different format from this. This is going to be hype. Every season is going to be so fun to track ladder. Every season it's going to be incredibly fun to watch the 3-day or 2-day event at the end, the round robin and the double elimination, maybe even duels, who knows? I think that's amazing. And I think that generally speaking, this is a lot of money. If Clash Royale made this announcement and put $200,000 behind it, I'd be like, dude, they've given up on CRL. That's it. They've given up on it. Clearly, they've given up on it. They don't care. They're just making it a ladder competition. But that's not the case. They put more money than ever before. Even for Supercell, $1.6 million is a ton of money. It really is. And I gotta give them props. It sounds really fun, and you can track your favorite players throughout 8-month duration, and everybody automatically has a chance to compete. Let's move on to the cons. Following that point, everybody automatically has a chance to compete. Well, the big con is if you have a max deck, that's the comma, second half of the sentence. There's no way avoiding this criticism. You have to have at least one max deck to compete on top ladder, or you're going to have to find sponsors. And that kind of leads me to my next question. Is Supercell going to be receptive to the idea of individuals, brands, or organizations sponsoring players, either gifting them an entire max account, not sharing, but giving them a max account, A, or B, giving them enough money so they can max their account, but then allowing contracts where said players, said pro players, have to give a certain amount, say 50%, 70% of their earnings at the end of every month if they win some of that 75K back to that account owner or benefactor. That is my question. Is that going to be enticing for tier 1, tier 2 orgs? Maybe some of them, mobile, organic orgs out there, the grassroots mobile orgs like Tribe and Nova, and a bunch of the CRL East orgs like Team Queso, maybe that will be attractive. Maybe individuals, maybe Bren Chong, maybe yours truly will sponsor a few players. That could be really fun. I would love to have a team that I paid, whatever, let's say $10,000 to, and then I have an ownership of everything they win, a certain percentage of everything they win throughout the season. That'd be really fun, and I think I would be on board with doing that. So any pros looking for a gig, come over here, man. So I think that'd be really fun. So overall, the level issue is an issue. But if there is a vehicle for players to get max decks and accounts and make a name for themselves, then I'm a little bit more, enthusiastic about it. So those are my opinions. Overall, I think this is a tough change for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be better. I really do. And, that's my opinion. Feel free to disagree in the comments below. Let me go ahead and cover a couple exchanges that I would be remiss if I did not mention in this video. So the first one that everybody is talking about is RF says, has the team ever considered to hire a former or current pro player on the team? They would bring an immense amount of knowledge of the current, They would bring an immense amount of knowledge the current team is obviously lacking. There have been dozens of bad decisions, I could go into detail if you're interested, that I think wouldn't have happened if the team had consulted pros on the team. Of course, you guys know more when it comes to other things related to Clash Royale. But the team really lacks a good knowledge of the game itself. This wouldn't be for me, but I know many pros would love to work with Supercell. And then Drew, the community manager, responded, and he said, I know you probably mean well, but this tweet, but it's pretty toxic, not gonna lie. Wings, who just retired as well, said, it's just the truth. Pros know infinitely more about the game than casual players. RF went on after that, or right before that, to say that he is officially retired from the game. He will no longer be playing Clash Royale in 2021. Thanks for everything from Supercell to fans and the people I've met along the way. So that is kind of an interesting exchange there. There's also been a number of different exchanges. Suffice it to say that Drew the community manager, seems like he has taken enough. Basically, he's not interested in people being negative or calling out the team in any way. So, for example, another pro manager and pro player, Dipet, said, Drew unfollowed me because I tweeted opinions of the community. Doesn't seem very community manager-ish. So again, we're just going to keep giving you guys all the juicy info here because it's publicly available. Why not? Drew went on to tweet today. People really think I'm going to keep following them after they tweet me abuse is like, I just don't even know. So basically, Eric goes on to say people are very emotional right now. He said, thanks for that viewpoint. And I think I agree with Eric's point here. Does not excuse their actions. I agree with unfollowing, but I wouldn't hold anything they say too personally right now. And I would echo exactly what Eric said. I think that these pro players, for reasons I mentioned, their income is basically going away, or their guaranteed income. So it's raw, it's emotional. I know Nick RF to be a really, really good dude who would never be toxic, but at the end of the day, you can see kind of the emotions spilling out, I think, from Drew, because he's taken so much crap, some of it, deservingly in terms of the whole whole Clan Wars 2 debacle that was the original update before they made some fixes in there. You could argue still not the best update in Clash Royale history, but poor Drew, the only community manager, dude, and he's getting hate constantly. So you can see how that might build up. We're only human at the end of the day, and from the pro player's perspective, man, I mean, it's gotta suck. It's gotta really suck. I mean, they're gonna be looking for another job. They might still compete. They might unretire. But at the end of the day, it's just gonna be difficult, you know, to adjust to this new system, even though I personally think the new system is better. And I am, at the end of the day, really looking forward to CRL in 2021. And guys, we also had Diego B quit. So very unfortunate here. Diego says, goodbye and thank you for everything Clash Royale. He goes on to put a very kind of well-worded goodbye. Diego B, one of my favorite guys in the community, really one of my favorite players. He's been, you know, well, he started out in beta in my clan, kind of followed him his whole pro career. So really sad to see this, but he said he still will be active. He talks about starting when he was 16 and now that he's 20. So very cool to see so many pros kind of grow up in this game in the last 4 or 5 years. So, you know, hats off to Diego B. Excellent that he kind of took you know, I wouldn't say the high road here, but just being open and honest about his emotions and wishing everybody well and trying to stay pretty positive about it as well. What about you guys? Let me know. These are all my honest, raw opinions as well. So maybe I can be talked out of them or into something else. So I really encourage you guys to leave a thoughtful and constructive comment about what you like and dislike about CRL 2021 in the comments below. Again, I will say the #1 issue for me is just the latter portion of it, you know? Other than that, I think it's way far superior than CRL 2020. Guys, thanks so much for watching. A huge shout out to Bren Chong, who's hosting a huge tournament. You're going to want to follow him at Bren Chong on Twitter for information about that. We're talking tens and tens of thousands of dollars, guys, and of course to Stats Royale. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.